I'm going to say my grace, and I'm going to thank God for this meal. I'm going to thank him for this meal. I'm actually going to thank him for using me when I went to the store to pick up the ingredients for this meal. YouTube. It's your boy Tony coming back at y'all, man, one more again with another great video. I got my sidekick behind me. Say what's up, Major. Say what's up, mate. Oh, he too busy twirling. Got King. Say what's up, King. Say what's up. Say what's up, King. Man, we in the kitchen today, YouTube. We ain't in the garage. We finna get ready to make some of Tony Tone's famous chili. Finna hook it up, YouTube. Man, we just can't.
Tony's favorite chili. Edit that out.
Wow, it's Tony Tone's famous chili. Famous, boy, you know that. Man, look here. I'm gonna give y'all the recipe. I'm just gonna go and give it to y'all. I want you to try it. Man, make you slap yourself. You know, I got a big family. So, we're gonna do about 3 pounds of ground beef. Let me show you. Here you go. We just gonna put this in a pan. What is that right there? Over there to the side. Alright, YouTube.
We got the meat.
We got the meat, got the ground beef, and I'm just gonna put the ground beef in this big old pot right here. I can cook it in a skillet, but I like to cook the ground beef in a pot. So I'm gonna put that in there. We're gonna get that on warm, get that to cooking. We'll be back with y'all in a minute, YouTube. What's up, man? Huh? What you say, King? My grandson, y'all. That's King Bean.
But wait, should you show them what to put it on? Like
Nah.
low or high?
We're just gonna get that in the pot.
Low or high?
We'll be back in a minute, YouTube. Alright, YouTube. Got the ground beef. It's cooking. We just gonna bring that to an old brown. Got this little tool right here. It'll kind of break up. There you go, YouTube. Got the ground beef browning right here cooking. Got this little tool right here. It'll kind of break it up a little bit. So while that's cooking and the ground beef is browning, I'm gonna come back over here and show y'all what we're gonna do. I got pepper pack. I'm gonna dice these peppers up. I'm gonna use this. And I'm gonna dice this onion up too. Put all of it in a bowl and get ready so we can get ready to saute all this. So I'm gonna do this while the ground beef is cooking. And I'll be back in a minute. What's up, King?
Wait.
What's up, man?
Don't hit that button. Don't hit that button. So this is what you do. First, you switch it on to 5. Then you don't open it and you just put all of it in there. You cut the plastic.
Boy, you don't know what you talking about, boy. Alright, we'll be back in a minute, YouTube.
And then you get this and like merge it up together and then you cook it.
I almost forgot to tell y'all, YouTube. Oh, almost forgot to tell you. You got to rinse these off. You got to clean this stuff off real good before we dice it up. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. Alright, YouTube. Got to get the inside of those peppers out. All the seeds. Y'all see that? I'm just gonna continue to get these peppers out. Oh yeah, safety first, y'all. Be careful. If you ain't never handled no big knife, don't start now. So, gotta be careful, YouTube. Safety always first. Get somebody that handled a big knife before if you ain't did it before. So, we'll be back in a minute. Got the ground beef. It's browning pretty good. We want to try to keep it diced up in here. That way we won't have no big chunks of ground beef in your chili. Not unless that's what you like. So we're gonna let that brown. Continue cutting our peppers. We'll be back in a minute.
We'll be back.
Alright, YouTube, I got all my bell pepper and my onion cut up. I'm just gonna rinse these out. Rinse these bell peppers out one more time. Get the seeds out. Then I'm gonna dice it up in this right here. I'm gonna dice it. And then I'm gonna stick it all in this bowl right here.
You gonna dice it?
Yep. Let me do this. So bag up a little bit, son. Alright. Rinse this off right here. Come on here, man. What we getting in?
Okay, he's rinsing them.
Yep, I'm rinsing them off. Gotta get all the seeds out there. Now, what we gonna do? We gonna take this. Uh-oh. Hopefully it'll work.
Getting blurry.
Yep, it'll work. And just like that, YouTube. Just like that.
Watch this. This looks so satisfying.
That's it.
And there's nothing. And there's nothing. That is so satisfying.
Alright, we'll be back in a minute. We're gonna get everything diced up into the bowl. And we'll be back in a minute, YouTube. Back in a minute.
My dad cut it up onions.
Yeah, man.
They getting cut up real bad. Oh God. Oh God.
Hey, you got to be a soldier,
Oh
man.
God. Oh,
YouTube.
wait, no.
That, but as y'all can see, my ground beef is brown, so I gotta stop and pour it in this colander. Drain this juice out. Come get this on camera, YouTube. Yep, gotta strain all that grease off of the meat.
I'm gonna need to start recording in a few minutes. You got my eyes burning real bad.
Hey man, stop shaking the camera.
Hey, yo, that looks so disgusting.
Hey, getting all that grease off of it.
Hey, yo, that looks so disgusting.
What I do, YouTube, I'm gonna use the same pan that I cooked that in. Look at that. I'm gonna use the same pan to pour all that grease out, and I'm gonna rinse it out this pan pot right here. Get all that grease out. Before I cook the chili, I use the same pan.
I think he's using like cold water.
But I rinse it out.
So he's
I
using.
don't want all that oil in here when I start cooking my chili. So I rinse it out. Let me talk, okay? Now, got it all nice and clean. I'm gonna take this ground beef and I'm gonna pour it back in the pan. We let some more of that grease drain. Alright, pour it back in there. And I'll take this and just sit it on the stove. I ain't gonna cook it yet.
Are you
But I just
fun?
take it and sit it on the stove and put a cover over it until I'm ready to start cooking the chili.
Chili? So you're gonna let it burn even more.
That's not burning. It's just oil, hot thing. Alright, I'm gonna finish cutting up these peppers. And then we'll be back in a minute, YouTube.
Okay. And pop. Wait, there's a little red dot on the camera. Hey, don't tell me.
Why?
What? Little fresh peeled garlic?
That's right.
Because the reason why I said it is because I forgot to stop. Because I
Alright,
forgot
YouTube.
to
Let me
record.
talk, man. Alright, see all the peppers, onions, everything cut all up. I'm just gonna add a little fresh peeled garlic. You really don't need to add that much garlic. Garlic is very potent. So, got all that mixed together. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this skillet. Put some butter in it. We're gonna get this cooking, sauteing, YouTube. So we'll be back in a minute. Alright, YouTube. Got my bell peppers, onions, and my fresh peeled garlic. Got it all in a pan.
I think you should add some vegetable oil.
When I speak now. And I got it sauteed in the pan. I put a little butter in there. And I put a dab of oil in there too because I ran out of butter. But we just gonna let that saute for a few minutes, get nice and tender. And once it gets tender, we'll be back with y'all in a minute, YouTube.
Wait, he put
YouTube, let's see what these bell peppers, onions, and garlic is doing. Look like it's cooking pretty good. You just need to let this get nice and tender. I gotta make it sure I get it real tender because my grandbaby's gonna be eating it. So it gotta be tender. So we'll let that cook on down and we'll be back in a minute, YouTube. Later. Alright, YouTube. Y'all can see my bell peppers and onions. Juice about fried out of them. And they're nice and tender. They chew pretty good. So just want to cook them nice and tender because while they're in the chili cooking, they're gonna continue to cook. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna pour it in this big pot right here. So I'm gonna put the phone down, do that. I'll be back with y'all in a minute. Alright, YouTube, I got all the sauteed bell peppers and onions, garlic. I got that in the pot with the strained grain beef. Now what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to I'm gonna add 3 chili packets. I always use McCormick. I use 2 original and 1 mild. All of them because my grandbabies is gonna be eating it and it can't be too spicy. I use 1 can of seasoned butter beans, 1 can of Bush black beans, 1 can of Hunt's diced tomatoes, 1 can of Bush kidney beans, and I got 3 cans of tomato sauce. I don't know if I'm gonna use all 3. I know I'm gonna use 1, but I kind of gauge it. Depends on how thick and thin you want it, how rich you want it. I'll probably end up using all 3 of these and probably 1 can of water to kind of thin it down a little bit if it's too thick. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get each can poured into my pot. And I'm not gonna drain off the juice. I'm gonna leave the juice and pour the juice in the pan along with everything else. So that adds more flavor. So you don't strain none of these. You use all the juice. Let me show y'all. Alright, YouTube, y'all see that? Seasoned butter beans. Leave the juice. Black beans, leave the juice. Go to diced tomatoes and the juice. Go to kidney beans and the juice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do 2 cans of tomato paste. Got this on medium heat till it comes to a boil. You can actually cut it up high if you want to until it comes to a boil. So now I'm gonna put the phone down and stir in my chili package. So I'm gonna stir all this up while I'm putting in my chili seasoning package. So, all right, I'll be back with y'all in a minute. All right, YouTube, that's what it looks like, all stirred in together. I actually went ahead and added that third can of tomato sauce, and I also added about 3/4 cans of water in here. What I typically do is you try to use 1 can, like this tomato sauce. I got 3 pounds of ground beef. So that means I use 3 cans of tomato sauce. Typically that's what I do. You can kind of play around with it until you get it just right the way you want it. But this is everything that I added to 3 pounds of ground beef. 1 can of butter beans, 1 can of black beans, one can of kidney beans, 1 can of diced tomatoes, and 3 cans of tomato sauce, along with 3/4 can of water. And you want to use these McCormick chili seasoning packets. 1 packet per pound of ground beef. I got 3 pounds of ground beef, so I got 3 chili seasoning packets. So now what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to add me an extra little flame into it. Not much, but just extra flame. I'm finna put some total seasoning. I'm just gonna use a little basil leaves. I usually use a bay leaf. Add 2 or 3 bay leaves in the pot and let it cook. But we don't have no bay leaves, so I'm just gonna put a little basil leaves in it. Just a tad of seasoned salt, a little bit, parsley, a little bit of slap your mama, and a little black pepper. So I'm gonna get my seasoning stirred in there, and we'll be back in a minute. Got all my seasoning in it. I put just a little bit of that in there. Excuse me, YouTube. Just a little bit of basil leaves in there because it's very potent. Just a little bit of slap your mama in there because it's salty. And just a little bit of seasoned salt. So you can kind of tweak it, you know, as it's cooking. Taste it, tweak it a little bit. You know, after you do it so many times, you'll kind of get used to it. So, all right, let me get this stirred up, and I'll be back in a minute, YouTube. YouTube got it all stirred up in there, man. You don't want to put that heat up too high. Once it comes to a small boil, you want to cut that heat down on it. About maybe a 2 or 3. That way it don't start sticking to the bottom of the pot. It'll all cook nice and slow. It'll blend all the flavors in. I'll cook it about a good 30 minutes or so. Let all the flavors blend in together. And then you can taste it and see what you need to add. But I think this gonna be right. So, smells good. So we'll just let this cook, come to a boil. Then we'll cut it down a little bit. Let it keep on cooking. We'll be back in a minute. Later. YouTube. Look at it. Man, that is the final product, man. I just got me a hot bowl of chili. Sprinkle some cheese on top. Put me a spoonful of sour cream right there. And I got me some Ritz crackers. So, man, sometimes people take some little, what you call the onions, dice up some onions, and just sprinkle little onions in it. But I don't like that many onions, so I'm gonna eat mine just like this. You can eat this chili on rice, too. One ingredient that I forgot to tell y'all that I added afterwards is I added just a little bit of sugar. It kind of weights it up a little bit. So, but yeah, I'm getting ready to enjoy YouTube. YouTube, I promise you, man, I wish you could taste it. It's so good. My family loves it, man, and they eat it all every single time. So, all right, YouTube, we'll be back. Next, man, we're going to do some hot wings. I'm going to show y'all how to do Tony Tone's favorite hot wings, famous hot wings. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Later. It was a gentleman before me and my son went to the store. I said a prayer. I told my son to hold up. I usually incorporate him, but for some specific reason, I felt like, God was speaking to me. And so I just closed my eyes and I prayed before we went to the store. And after we got to the store, maybe about 5 minutes in, a gentleman walked up to me. He was like, "Excuse me, sir, excuse me. And he just started explaining himself about how he just got out of prison and he had a hotel for 2 days and basically he needed some money. And so I told him I didn't have any money on me. I said, but I asked him to wait for me at the front of the store and I'll see what I could do. And make a long story short, I gave him some money, and me and my son, we prayed for him, and we prayed with him, and we prayed for him. And, the Lord used me to touch him. And so that's a good thing. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to eat this chili, and we're going to go from there. We'll be back in a minute with Tony Tone's famous hot wings. So we'll see y'all in a minute, YouTube. Later.